That women are very afraid because people are arming themselves. They're not just arming themselves, but we also have politicians who are giving weapons to different people in the communities. We have seen weapons being used in the communities before, very crudely, but they've never been addressed in any way. So right now, people have armed themselves, and people are saying openly that we are getting ready. We have women who have armed themselves as well, because they think that that is the only way that they are going to protect themselves. So what we are asking ourselves is that how can we talk about peace when people are actually arming themselves and people are seeing their arms with them every day? So we are very afraid as women. We are scared. We are scared of our neighbors. We are scared of the police. We are just scared of everyone. We don't know where to go to. We are appealing to the government to listen to the women and just to think of how they can protect the women, during this time.
The women have raised concerns asking for more protection and security before, during, and immediately post the elections. Contrary to persistent government assurance for peace and security during the voting period, the women converging from different areas of Nairobi slums and informal settlements are skeptical that their areas will be peaceful and now want the government and security apparatus to heed their plea. Women in slum areas and informal sectors persistently bear the brunt of election violence. Sexual violence, or even the fear of it, is rife. Women campaigners as well as aspirants are easy targets of attack, while their voices are muffled and often ignored in escalating political tempers. In some of the areas, young women especially are easy targets by gangs and political pressure groups in the slums who make their business to attack anyone who claims dissenting support from theirs. In almost all of the areas represented, criminal gangs have seemingly increased and or regrouped ahead of the polling date and are continuously causing violence and mayhem, or the fear of it.
Who are calling upon the government to actually put in place concrete measures. And while the government is assuring us that they have everything in place to avoid a complete and total breakdown of law and order, it is very important that the issues of women and the specificities that have been mentioned here be taken into concern. Women are afraid. Avenues for women to engage and to have a voice within the peace initiatives has been muted. It has been very difficult for them to really get their concerns there beyond just the peace messaging, beyond the clarion calls to prayer. So I think that for us right now, we are asking the media to put out this call so that the duty bearers can hear the voices of women and do something to put in place those concrete measures. We're calling upon the Cabinet Secretary for Interior. We're calling upon the Inspector General of Police. We're calling on them to make sure that these issues are concretely addressed. And we will ensure that this communique and the requests that women have put out will reach them so that they actually put in place the necessary measures. We know violence doesn't begin in the posh places. It always begins in those informal settlements where that is where it begins.
And so they have made various recommendations, both to government, to the Interior Cabinet Secretary, to security operators, that if at all during this voting day, the police must come in to quell skirmishes or to quell the volatile situations in these areas. Could they please also send female police officers? Their quest for gender-based policing is so that at least women feel a little bit more secured, a little bit more sheltered when police officers come in to quell the violence. They are also pleading for safe passages for women and children. Their cry has been that when there is violence, they are marooned in the violence. The police come in, the gangs are marauding, they don't know where to run, they are marooned. Are there safe corridors that can be created for women and children? Can there be a mapping of safe passages for emergency services, for ambulances, for fire brigades, for the police, and for women and children to be evacuated if there is need? So these women are speaking from a point of experience. They have experienced it. They live in these areas. In fact, one of the most important things they say is that these areas, our areas, are classified as hotspots. And just the fact that they are classified as hotspots then therefore means it puts them in a situation where they have to panic because they live in hotspot areas. This is their cry.